how would you describe the development surrounding the retired Admiral Ibas, who is now the sole administrator of Revers State?
Thank you for having me. I think the sole administrator of Revers State is trying to cure the rot of the Jonation, because for what we are saying, he seems to be dismantling everything that a Fubara have left behind. It seems to be dismantling all the political structure, democratic structure in Revers State. And this is like a legacy of the Jonation, because this is the first ever Ijaw governor in all the 6 states of South Democratic Zone. Don't forget that the Jonation have made it very clear the other time that at the heat of their controversy with Wike, that they sent him in thunder, and that the thunder is tormenting him. Maybe Mr. Ibas may be preparing himself to receive another thunder from the Jonation, because I don't think the judge is comfortable with what is happening. We are seeing Pandef coming out to condemn it in clear terms. We are seeing an aide to Fubara himself coming out to condemn it in clear terms. But come to think of it, I think Ibas is going beyond his mandate. As we speak, the legitimacy of his appointment is being questioned at the level of Supreme Court. We already have all the 11 attorney generals of all the PDP control states approaching Supreme Court to determine whether by virtue of the provision of section 305 of Nigerian Constitution as amended, that the past Mr. President to institute state of emergency in the state, extend to removing a governor and the House of Assembly in that state. Not just that state anyway, in any state of the federation, and particularly states being controlled by PDP. That we are waiting for the court to determine. We understand that the court have already notified the president, the attorney general of the federation, and anybody that need to come and defend that. And we don't woke up to surprise and serious dismay, a situation where Ibas have decided to start dismantling everything that stands for democracy in that state. We are seeing him recently saying that all the local government, he dissolved the whole technical committee, and he have gone ahead to appoint administrators to manage the local government. And this is even deep against a standing court order. Don't forget that somebody approached the court, got the court order to restrain Ibas from going ahead with the action. So this impunity taken too far. I've seen the aid to the Pandef saying that this is impunity promise, that this is the highest level of impunity. Because for me, you say you want to come and make peace, you want to come and reconcile warring faction by virtue of your appointment, and we are saying you all your actions are tailored towards one side. It looks as if he's taking directive from the office of the Minister of FCT, because all his action is against the Fubara and the political structure, democratic structure in Revers State. I think that's not enough. He has even gone ahead to dissolve the state electoral body and the chairman removed and replaced. The beginning to ask, whose interest is Ibas acting? Who gave him the mandate? This is a man who he have not, his legitimacy of the office he occupied has been questioned. So for me, I think the Supreme Court should expedite action in determining whether Mr. President in the first place have right to do what he did by bringing Ibas into that position. And again, don't forget that people even question how the way and manner the Senate and Rep endorsed that state of emergency. Because at the level of Senate, we understand that even while they went into closed session, they needed to do head count to ensure that they form quorum. They got to tell majority. They ensure that they form quorum before they could went into voting. We understand that because they wanted to rig the process, they didn't allow the people who were for Fubara to raise issues, and I think they used a voice vote, which is even against the constitutional provision and against the standing order of even the Senate. As you have it, that illegality is standing, and you have an administrator who have gone ahead to start dismantling all the democratic structures in that state. Even the chieftaincy affair issue, he have reversed everything Fubara stand for. So for me, This is purely a war against Fubara. This is purely a war against Ijaw nation. That's why I'm thinking that if care is not taken, Ibas may be incurring the wrath of Ijaw, and if care is not taken, he may be preparing himself to receive thunder. Just like Ijaw claimed that they are the one that sent a wicked thunder that keep tormenting even not today.
But I will learn that there was uneasy in Rivers State House of Assembly as one of the thunders landed. Maybe I don't know how true is that. Was it that Ibas, the thunder missed target, or another one is coming?
The judge have made it very clear that they know the origin of the spirit of thunder. They said even when they sent to Wike, it's what tormenting him up to today. That if you go and look at his physique, that the reason he looks sick is because of the thunder they sent to him. And logically speaking, Wike is not as heady as he used to be in the past. I know nobody can determine who falls sick or not, but Wike's political trajectory and strategy, for me, it is wrong, because we thought we have gone evolved beyond godfatherism. I know we used to have the issue, the era of the strong man of Ibada politics, talking about Adedibu. We used to have the era of the Saraki of Kwara. I thought we have evolved beyond that level. I know we still have the Turubu dynasty, political dynasty in Lagos, but for now, I don't think anything that will do with godfatherism will fester in South-South. Because in South-South, they don't ponder to godfatherism. I think the Wike must get very clear on that point. Because even the Wike himself, when he was in opposition, and the government of the day at the national was against him, we saw the zeal, the tenacity with which the Rivers people supported him. Even in the election that gave him a second term, during the election, we saw how police shot dead a man, a lecturer, who resisted rigging Wike's election. At the end of the day, I think a Wike administration gave the family 200 million as at then. So I think that should be enough to make a Wike know that these people are different people. They do not submit to God for that reason. And come to think of it, you have had your 8 years. You are not the first governor of that state. You have seen governors upon governors in that state. So I think the right thing to do is to allow democracy to serve in that state.
But he said he wants to deliver, that the president is a mandate already. It's a deal between him and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you want to be relevant in Tinubu APC administration, deliver Rivers State. And are you not seeing that the president himself is playing toward that? Wike said it recently.
When it comes to delivering the state, I think in the electoral process, Wike have no role to play. I'm not denying the fact that
he has a role to play. He has structure there.
I'm not denying the fact that he's not from Rivers State. To that extent, when you're talking about one man, one vote, he only have one vote. Like I told you, the same way the people resisted with their blood to ensure that a Buhari government then did not impose a candidate of APC on them. I think that's the same thing we are likely.
But we can succeeded in an attractive state of emergency there.
State of emergency is different when it comes to election proper.
But the structures of Fubara has been removed.
But we saw a federal government might came to Rivers State during that 2019 election, and the people resisted it, and they made sure that the person they wanted, Wike then, won and became the governor. So the River people have not changed, the ideology have not changed. I still believe that if you now come to that stage, of course that is another stage you are today, I believe that the people will finally resist and say this is the person we want.
Are they resisting now? Are you seeing that sign of resistance against Ibas? Not now.
The resistance is there, but the only thing is that when you impose state of emergency, the only instrument in the hands of the people is protest. Because if you go by way of anarchy, the federal government will say as an excuse to unleash mayhem on the people through Nigerian police and other sister security agencies. I think that is the reason you are seeing people keeping quiet. What you have in Rivers State is like the peace of the graveyard. It's an uneasy camp. Not that the people are comfortable with the current status quo. Don't forget that in this last protest, when they protested against cyberbullying, Rivers State, it was purely against impunity of imposing a state of emergency in Rivers State. Even though the police used brute force to quell it, but that statement has been made that the people are against this imposition of state of emergency.
Well, yes, if you're saying that at this point, it looks like the militants are no longer afraid of Ibas. They're no longer threatening the oil facilities there. And maybe they are ready to negotiate with Ibas and forget about Fubara.
That of militancy, I think is neither here nor there. We don't understand that before now, they were threats, particularly from a group that goes by the name of Niger Delta movements, Niger Delta Volunteer Force or whatever. But as it stands, it is not on record that they have wreaked any havoc. But I think maybe federal government may have strike a deal with them. It's not clear. I don't have the level. I don't have some level of classified information in that regard. But looking at someone like Asaidu Kobo, who are very clear from the beginning that if you think you remove Fubara, that not to happen, they say, I tell you that's not to happen. One begin to ask and question the man, Asaidu Kobo, with respect to his statement, because he has not been able to make good statement. And currently, we are seeing Ibas who have been running the state without due process, removing every democratically elected people, dismantling every democratic structure in the state, and the lives of Asaidu Kobo seem to be keeping quiet. So I don't know whether the president has found a way to lobby Asaidu Kobo.
It's clearly that Asaidu Kobo is afraid of Ibas, or is he cooking something behind the scene?
If he's cooking something, Asaidu Kobo is not somebody that is always keeping quiet. He would have come to the public to let the public know his intention, his position, and what he stands for. But currently, he seems to be standing aloof. He seems not to be coming out to make statements. And the way it is, the structure in Revers currently seems to be working in favor of yes or Wike. And in all of this, it may be in preparation for election in that state. Because as we speak, it is not clear whether, whichever way, the judgment of Supreme Court challenging the 27 lawmakers who defected from PDP to APC, who are loyal to Wike, whether Supreme Court will sack them or not, whether the Supreme Court will declare that their seats are vacant or not. If that is the case, I think they may be preparing ground to win the election again. Because don't forget that even the position of the law is that if they had started or rather initiated the impeachment process of Fubara, maybe raise impeachment notice, send it to the Chief Justice of the state, he raised panel to investigate it. If the panel come back and decide that the impeachment notice or allegations are not true, are false, of course, that forestall, that stop that impeachment process, and in the lifespan of the House of Assembly, the law do not permit them to raise those allegations again. I think that perhaps may explain the reason they decided to draft Ibas into the game. This may be their plan B.
Okay, well, judiciary can never be trusted in Nigeria. The Nigerian judicial system is something else. It's been tailored. But that's a way. When the governor of Revers State, Simi Fubara, came and said he is depressed, is he regretting? Is he going to beg? What does he
No, I don't see Fubara begging.
But he said he's depressed.
No, the worst that can happen, he has said it before now, he said the worst that can happen is they remove him from office. We have seen the Fubara who have been illegally suspended. But the way it is, for me, I don't think a Fubara will succumb to begging. He would rather prefer to break than to beg. Thank you very much.